of them might require. So you have to do based on the context or based on the history. So basically it's a good idea to objectively track all team members, including high performers. Okay. The next one. This is regarding a case study on project tracking. Let us take, there was a project which has got about 15 tasks, okay, between March 2nd and March 27th. So there is totally 55 tasks in the project, okay. Between March 2nd and March 27th, there are 15 tasks. So there are total 55 tasks in the project. There are 15 tasks between March 2nd and March 27th. On March 15th, you found that 10 tasks are delayed out of the 15. Okay, there are 15 tasks between March 2nd and 27th. On March 15th, you figured out, actually by grilling or by talking to the team members, that out of the 15 tasks, 10 tasks are delayed. And this was found only on March 15th. March 27th is for the finishing of all these tasks, out of which 6 of them are in the critical path. Out of the 10 tasks delayed, 6 of the tasks are in the critical path. Okay, and another issue is 3 of them of the tasks in the critical path are done by relatively fresh people or relatively weak team members. How do you handle such a situation? It's a very difficult situation to handle. You have some tasks which is already delayed, and some of those tasks are already in critical path, and some of those tasks in their critical path is handled by weak team members. So it's a very difficult situation. How do you handle? So first we have to ask ourselves the question, why the delay was known to the project manager only after 13 days. March 2nd it started, but only on March 15th the PM come to know about the delay. So it's very important to have such a, if there is too much pressure, it is better to have a scrum meeting or stand-up meeting where you can simply ask the status every day. So basically in a scrum meeting you will ask, what are the tasks you have done today? So by asking these 3 questions in Scrum, you will come to know what are the issues the team members are facing. First of all, you should create an open culture where every team member is able to open up and tell the truth, tell honestly, fearlessly. That culture has to be created. Okay, the second possible solution is, what do you do as a PM? Use strong team members from non-critical path. So you have some strong team members outside critical path. Use those team members and bring it back to the critical path to recover from the situation. The last option is negotiate with customer to deliver reduce feature test. So reduce feature set actually. So if you don't have any choice, you have to do, but don't tell on March 27th that I'm going to get a delay. So you are going to get a delay in your deliverable. But it is better to inform the customer in advance, give an advance warning. Look, we have an internal issue, we want to solve it, but your present delivery of 27th is going to get delayed. Sorry for it. We will try to recover from this delay as fast as possible. It is better to tell it in advance rather than telling the customer on 27th and giving him a negative surprise. Now the last one is project infrastructure related fact. What is the infrastructure? Many times projects are having great team members, let's say, but the infrastructure associated with the project, maybe the machines, the software, the whatever the, it may not be good enough. It may be substandard. Okay. So some organization will try to save the penny, but they will lose pound. What happens is, when you are having a team member who is extremely good and is sitting in front of a PC, it takes about 1 hour to compile a code. What is the overall productivity? It is called integrated productivity. Productivity of the machine plus the human being. Integrated productivity is going to be extremely less. Okay. And also what happens is, if you give this and you give the software for compilation, you have to, the team member has to do babysitting in front of the machine till the compilation gets over. So this takes about 45 minutes or 1 hour to compile. So you are wasting their time. And one more thing, improper tools. You are using some tools. Tools itself have bugs. So you will see your bug in the code, or you will see the tool bug. What bug? So first you have to find out the bug in the tool and try to get it solved by the tool vendor. then use the tool. So you have to be very careful in selection of the tool. You have to use the right tool for the right kind of solution. And basically UI based and command line based, ease of use of the tools is very important. Many times you say command line based tools productivity is reduced. So UI based, there should be ease of use and there will be high amount of user interface. It should be very easy to use. So right tool set has to be used. So, and also you have to evaluate the tool set before purchasing. So you take a evaluation copy, evaluate it, ask multiple people to use it, and then everybody is happy, or ask if there are issues or clarification, get it clarified from the tool vendor, then only do it. Okay, when you are given a substandard infrastructure, what will you do? You have to really escalate. You say that this kind of infrastructure cannot work for this kind of project. If you are giving this kind of infrastructure, then the project timeline, the quality or the effort is going to be this much. So have an impact, give an impact of what happens if you use this kind of infrastructure. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so there are two kinds of things. Overall, I want to summarize in this slide what exactly are the two things which can do to reduce the fat. Sorry, I think we are having some problem with the slide. Just waiting for the slide to appear. Right. So reduce fast. There are two aspects to it. How can you reduce fat? You can either do exercise or you can do fasting. Right? What are the activities of the project which are actually equal to exercise? For example, you have to conduct risk management workshop. It's an exercise for the project. So a proper risk management workshop is a good exercise for the project. Brainstorming sessions for the project. Conduct requirement management workshops is a good thing. Okay. So there are multiple things you can do as exercise in a project. So what is fasting? Loading experts with more work. If you have an expert in the work, you actually load him with more work. It's actually equivalent to fasting. Okay, the next one is allocating an average member with a complex work. That is also equivalent to fasting. Not deploying the right tracking method to spot bottlenecks in the critical path. So if you don't have the right tool to spot the bottlenecks, maybe some people are using Excel sheet to plan, some people are using Microsoft Project, some people are using some other tool. It doesn't matter what the tool is. Do you have the right method to find out what is in the critical path? If you are not spotting the critical path, what happens is you might even concentrate on non-critical path, which is actually not affecting the project duration. Working with unfrozen and ambiguous spec. So you are actually working with an unambiguous, you are actually supposed to work with an unambiguous spec, but you are actually working with an unfrozen and ambiguous spec without identifying the gray areas. If you are not able to identify the gray areas, then it is going to be a big problem. So if you look at it, you should not do fasting, but at the same time you should do exercise. You should eat well. Like the human body, you should eat well and also do the right kind of exercise. So both you have to do simultaneously actually to reduce the project fat and increase the project metabolism. Once you are able to increase the project metabolism, then you will be able to run the project at much faster pace. Okay. So next is about this, the whole topic has been taken from my book, and this is a small snapshot of my book. So this book it talks about how do you handle the team members around you, how do you handle the customers, how do you handle the suppliers, how do you handle your boss, your boss's boss, what are the different kinds of bosses available in the organization, what are the different traits of the different traits of the boss, what kind of bosses exist. So all these are handled in this book so that you can read it and you can say how do you handle your career in the IT industry. It's very important to handle your career. Performance alone is not enough nowadays. You have to also handle the perception. Performance and perception, both are very important. So how do you handle perception? Your perception in the organization is this. And there is a section in this book called speed of execution of projects. So how do you actually increase the speed of execution of projects is a section. So that section I have converted to this presentation.